You're watching Cover to Cover, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read. This week we're introducing Gurbani Gems, Volume 1 and Volume 2 from the A Word, A Thought team. These books that we're looking at were published in 2016 and are the softbound editions. Gurbani Gems, both Volume 1 and Volume 2, is a collection of work by a team of Sikh researchers and Gurbani lovers who for some years now have been using the internet to provide learning and assistance to those people wanting to know the meaning of specific words that they read in the Guru Granth Sahib. Through their website and their mailing list, they provide a word a day, which is where they take their name from. Now, while that was going on through email and through their website and maybe even an app, I think, this book is the presentation and publication of a number of different words that they have already produced and sent out to their readership from the Guru Granth Sahib. And these are selections of words across both volumes that will be of interest to anybody who wants to know a little bit more about some of the different terminology that is used in the Guru Granth Sahib and the words that we come across when reading Gurbani. Staying true to the idea of keeping Gurbani at the forefront of this endeavour, the authors don't include their own names. Instead, this book is authored by the team from A Word, A Thought, sometimes abbreviated to AWAT. What we find in both works is a fabulous repository of different words from the Guru Granth Sahib laid out with English interpretations of what those words mean and the context in which they might be used in a particular shabad. There is specific focus given to the etymology of a word, and quite handily, each of the two volumes is separated into 26 different chapters. Let's take a look. The format and presentation of both volumes is pretty much identical and is very easy to read and incredibly easy to navigate. Of the 26 chapters in Volume 1, the opening chapter is titled On the Way to Bliss, closing chapter 26 Towards Harmony and Peace. That's just a taste of some of the different titles that we get to each chapter. Now, within each chapter we have 5 different words that are selected. Each chapter quite helpfully opens with a brief introduction as to why those words were selected and what the title of that chapter has to do in linking them all together. And then each of those chapters then again closes with a very brief summary, as well as the umpteen quotations from the Guru Granth Sahib that appear throughout Volume 1 and Volume 2. We have quotes from other luminaries and philosophers that pertain to the subject matter of each one of those chapters. Gurbani Gems is literally all about the Gurbani. So aside from the publisher's page, the contents page, and a brief foreword introducing each of the two volumes, there is nothing else. It is just the chapters and each one of the words presented on a single page. It is very, very fascinating to read and a really useful tool, not only to have on your bookshelf as somebody who reads Gurbani and tries to research the Sikh way of life, but as a book that you might just want to pick up every other day, or every day in fact, to take a look at a different word and just read it through. And that's exactly what the team from A Word, A Thought aimed to do by setting up this initiative. Some of you might be wondering, what was the need to go into print and publish these two volumes, particularly from an endeavor that was already internet-based like A Word, A Thought? Well, what these two volumes have provided me with is an easy to grab book that I can pick up literally at any time of the day or night and decide to just read randomly at an open page a specific word of Punjabi from the Guru Granth Sahib. Unlike looking at a computer screen or a mobile phone screen, it's not something that has to be very regimentary or very disciplined. These two books are very easy to handle, and as I said, the wording is incredibly easy to read. The presentation is flawless. Some of the English in little parts can require you to use your own interpretive fill in the gap spaces, but that's true of any type of interpretation of the Guru Granth Sahib itself. So in that light, I would definitely recommend anybody who is a Sikh and trying to think a little bit more philosophically about the Guru Granth Sahib and their interpretation of it, to pick up copies of Gurbani Gems Volume 1 and Volume 2 from the A Word, A Thought team. But we want to know what you think, so please leave us a comment below and share your thoughts on Gurbani Gems Volume 1 and or Volume 2. Join us again here at Naujawani on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so that we can share more cover to cover with you, our guide to the Sikh and Punjabi books that you need to read.